My soul is also sore vexed. But thou, O Lord, how long? Psalms chapter 6 verse 3. In this verse, David expresses a profound sense of inner turmoil and distress. While he has already acknowledged his physical affliction, here he turns his focus to the anguish within his soul. The phrase "my soul is also sore vexed" reveals that David's suffering goes beyond the physical realm. It reaches deep into his spiritual and emotional state. His soul is in torment, weighed down by despair and longing for relief. The intensity of this inner pain is described as sore vexed, suggesting a soul in deep agony, unable to find peace or rest. David's vulnerability is laid bare as he openly confesses the extent of his emotional suffering. My soul is also sore vexed. David begins by acknowledging the distress of his soul. The term sore vexed conveys a state of being overwhelmed, distressed, and in great emotional anguish. This expression emphasizes that David's suffering is not just physical but deeply emotional and spiritual. His soul, the core of his being, is tormented by the heaviness of his circumstances. The use of also implies that his internal anguish is just as significant as his physical pain, highlighting that both dimensions of his suffering are affecting him equally. This phrase reminds us of the holistic nature of human pain, encompassing both body and soul. But thou, O Lord, how long? David's plea, "How long?" echoes the cry of many throughout the Psalms, a desperate question seeking an answer from God. In his distress, David looks to the Lord as his only source of deliverance, but he is also filled with a sense of impatience and longing for relief. The question "how long?" is a cry for the timing of God's intervention, a longing for the end of suffering. It reflects a sense of uncertainty and helplessness, as David does not know when or how God will act, but he trusts that the Lord's answer will come. This moment of questioning is not one of doubt in God's faithfulness, but rather a deep, raw expression of the pain that often accompanies prolonged suffering. It highlights the human experience of waiting on God's timing, even when that waiting is hard to endure. Conclusion. This is a raw and honest cry from David, expressing not only physical weakness, but also the overwhelming emotional and spiritual anguish he faces. His soul is in deep distress, and he turns to God, seeking relief and longing for an end to his suffering. The verse exemplifies the tension between suffering and waiting on God's intervention, a theme that resonates deeply with all believers. It calls us to recognize that our struggles are not only physical, but also deeply emotional and spiritual. And in those moments, we too can cry out to God, trusting that He hears us, even as we wonder how long before He answers.